What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Fresh Experience. I cannot wait to dive into tonight's topic. These are the three things besides money. Now, I know everybody knows that you got to have some sort of money or some sort of equity or some sort of way to leverage yourself when you start a business, but these are the three things outside of that you absolutely need and are required in order for you to be successful in business, with a business, starting a business, in your career, really with anything you do in life, literally anything you do in life. And we're going to talk about that tonight. But one of the things that I want to jump right into is expertise. And this is something that is designed through experience. Really, when you think about experience, it can really affect the way that you look at something, the way you view something, your outlook on something. And so my outlook on business and my outlook on life is different from maybe yours or from somebody else's. And it comes through my experiences, right? My expertise, if you will. And I've had some wins and I've had some losses. I've had some pretty big losses, actually. And I think we can all relate. And I'm not even talking about in business. I'm just talking about in life. Like I've had some losses. I've had some wins. But one thing that I got when I was younger was a tattoo. My son's home from the military. He's visiting right now, and he's talking about getting this tattoo. I'm thinking about when I got a tattoo and the experience that I had, what I had with that. And I'll just be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of pain. I don't know many, some people are weird like that. They like pain. I'm not a huge fan of pain. And so I got this tattoo right here. From what I understand, looking back from a lot of people, it's actually one of the easiest areas to get a tattoo. So it's like, probably going to lose some fans right now. But anyways, I got this tattoo right here, and it hurt. It hurt. Straight up. That's pretty much the story. It hurt, and I never got another tattoo. So when my son says I'm going to get a tattoo on whatever, I'm thinking pain. That's what I'm thinking. And so it's interesting how we look at these things. Now, he's in the Army right now. He's doing these long hikes. And his experience, his expertise is like, this ain't going to hurt. Dad, let me tell you about some things that hurt. And so I get that. It's all about our experiences. And so tonight we're going to take a look at something that's a little bit more broad and how we might be able to apply it to our experience, our expertise in our field, in our trade, and whatever we do. I pulled tonight's show's content from an article I read straight out of entrepreneur.com. It's interesting how when I dive in and research some of these other things, look, these are a lot of things that I've said in the show for the last couple of years, but I want to give credit where credit is due. And quite honestly, I'm not the only one saying it, folks. People say, Chris, where did you learn all this stuff? Where'd you get all this stuff? I'm like, life. This is just the way it is. People are people. Knowledge and expertise. This is what the article had to say about knowledge and expertise being the first thing that you have to be successful in business, to be successful in life, as it relates outside of money, outside of things, assets and things you can leverage. So the most successful entrepreneurs I've worked with have an advantage of an acute knowledge in whatever industry they are targeting. Now, if you're a service plumber, we have a lot of companies that follow us that are service plumbing companies, because that's what we do in our podcast. We talk specifically to service plumbing companies, and we coach service plumbing companies, whether it be the owner, whether it be the business, whether it be the technicians and how to run the call, whatever it is. We talk about these things in the niche, in the focused, acute knowledge of service plumbing. Now, when you think about that, it says, hey, you gotta be doing that. You gotta have some acute knowledge of something. Okay, you can't be the jack of all trades. And he says they have become experts by spending time learning about the problem they are trying to solve and the target market. Did you hear that? They focus on the problem that they are trying to solve. So many of us in our trade and our business, we don't even know what industry we're in. We don't even know what industry we're in. It blows my mind. I travel around to service plumbing companies, and they don't even know they're in the sales industry. They don't even know that they're in the consumer industry. They are literally front line to the consumer. It's a different game out there. It's different. Retail versus wholesale, they're different. It says, thus, they are naturally in a better position to start a company. Me and my wife have 8 kids. Okay, one at a time, both ours, old school parents, both our kids, one at a time. And we have friends that have 9 kids, but they had 6 kids, and their 7th kid were triplets. I would like to think that my 8th kid was easier than their triplets because it was one at a time, acute, focused knowledge. When we think about this, it says they have to become experts by spending time learning about the problem they are solving. Not experts at pro press, not experts at sweating, not experts at pecs, whatever the argument is there that you want to take a side on, not experts at just experts at toilets, not just experts at their craft, but they're experts at the problem they are trying to solve. In fact, that's the thing they actually mentioned in the article. And when you're running a service call, when you're dealing with the consumer, when you're working with the public, whether it be your employee base or your customer base, I hope you understand that, you better understand the problem you're trying to solve in the target market, who and what. Thus, they are naturally in a better position to start a company. Thus, they are in a better position to raise a family. Thus, they're in a better position to solve a problem. Thus, they're better in a better position to lead. Thus, they're in a better position to ... fill in the blank. Knowledge and expertise, guys, these are crucial. The second one is strategy. Now, this is where I see a lot of people live. They have no knowledge, they have no expertise, but they have a strategy on how to make money. They're just talkers. You've met these people. Like whether you worked with someone on a construction site before, maybe you've been in the construction trades or out there in that world, you've worked with them in an office somewhere, you went to school with them in high school, and they've done that plus one. They've done it, if you had a boat, they had three. They're talkers. They never do anything. They just talk. They have all the ideas in the world. They have no strategy. They have no real strategy. What they have is an idea. Listen, he says, now just because you have knowledge of the industry doesn't mean you become successful automatically. This goes hand in hand, right? I just said a second ago, maybe they got no knowledge, maybe got no expertise, but they have a strategy on how to make money. We've met those people. But the flip side is true too. They have knowledge, but they got no strategy. He says you also need a solid strategy, how you will acquire users or customers, how you will, as I say in my trainings with the companies all the time, you got to be able to make the phone ring, and then you got to be able to convert the call. And this article says right here, how will you acquire customers, how you'll make money, and how will you deliver the product or service that people want. We say integrity is you doing what's best for the consumer and for the company at the same time. How will you deliver that product or service? How will you look representing your company, and how will you look representing your company? Meaning, how will you look to the company when you do it, and how will you look to the customer when you do it? Maybe you're an amazing service plumber and you just started your own service plumbing company, but you don't look like a service company. Maybe you don't look like you know what you're doing. You sound like you do. You do know what to do, but you don't look like it. It's going to affect you. But what's the plan after that? I've seen people buy tons and tons of things, flyers and yard signs, and then they just sit in boxes. You got to have a strategy. You got to know how you're going to make the phone ring. You got to know how you're going to convert the call. One of the things we teach in our program is knowing your numbers. You got to know your numbers. How do you know what you're going to do? What's your return on investment? How do you know, look, I'm going to go make sure that I spend another $10,000 with this marketing concept or this marketing idea because it's going to return what? You got to know that answer. You got to know it's a vending machine. That's business. You put the dollar in, what comes out? In the service plumbing game, you put in 50 cents, you should get back $1. That's the wholesale trade. If you put in 50 cents, you should get back $1.50. That's the retail swap. That's just the simplicity of it at its root. That's a vending machine. It's really simple. So what can I go do that will spit that out? What can I go invest my money into? I got to have a strategy. I can't just go get a website, get some landing pages, get a Facebook page because that's what everyone else did. I got to know why. I got to know how. And I got to know what to even do with it. Knowledge isn't enough. Hey, look, when you guys are thinking about this concept of strategy versus knowledge and expertise, and you start combining the two together, what is it in your mind that keeps you from moving to the next phase? Because this seems to be the stopping point right here. We get the knowledge, we get the idea, we get the concept, we think about it. How many people out there watching right now, be honest, has said, man, I thought of that 2 years ago, or I had that idea 10 years ago, or man, I was just thinking, and then someone else actually brings that idea to life. I know a lot of people that missed out on things because they didn't want to take the risk or whatever reason. Here's the deal. If you go through life without any kind of strategy based off of knowledge and expertise, meaning things you know, not things you heard, stop making decisions on things you heard. Start making decisions on things you know. Strategy meets knowledge and expertise. Tonight's third point, this is a big deal because this is where I see it all stop. This is where it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go up. We're going to score a touchdown. We're going to go up by 7. Then we're going to stop them. and then we're going to score another touchdown. We're going to go up by 14. And then right after that, we're going to create a turnover and score on that turnover. We're going to be up 21-0. They won't know what hit them. But the problem is, which is point number 3, is we never execute. We never execute. There's no execution. Absolutely no execution. This is the thing. This is why 99% of the businesses fail, or whatever the stat is. 100% of the businesses almost. It's unbelievable the number of businesses that fail. And it's purely on execution. Everybody, you could do paralysis by analysis. You could look at so many different things. It's like everything's got to be perfect. Jim Rohn said, progress over perfection. You don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. It says you have knowledge advantage and a strategy in place. Now it's time to execute. Now here's the thing that it takes to execute. Here's the 2 things that it takes to execute. Number 1, execute is a combination of 2 things. Hard work, AKA grit and hustle. I'm going to stop right there. Hard work. I think that term's been outlawed these days. Hard work. Hard work. Look, it's not easy. Okay, if you want an easy career, you want an easy life, you want an easy job, it's just not going to have as big of a reward, and that's okay. But when you solve big problems, big rewards come with that. That's how the world operates. And on top of all of that, it's hard to do. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And the second point they say today is hard work and having the right team in place. I went to a conference a couple years ago, right before all these transitions, and I remember the messaging that weekend and all the different things they were talking about. The one that stuck out to me was having a team. You can only do so much individually. If you're a service technician and you're on a call and you rely on just yourself, you don't get training from the company, you don't invest in the industry, you don't understand the products and services, you don't understand what's going on as it relates to humans and how relationships work and how diagnosing works and how it relates with all these things that you probably don't want to deal with. If you don't get better at these things, if you don't utilize the team around you that can support you, you'll never be better. You can only be as good as you. If you don't start partnering with the CSRs and actually working with them, CSRs will the vice versa, service managers, owners, GMs, all of you, whatever trade, whatever business you do, you got to have a team. For you entrepreneurs out there, you got to have a team. You're only as good as you. And it seems like a simple statement, but is it so complicated to grasp and actually do something about? See, the reality is that a lot of us, for some reason or other, we want the money, so it's greed. We want the fame. We want something. We want to be the man. I don't know what it is always, but pride gets in the way, and we don't want anyone else to win around us. And I'm guilty. I've been guilty of that. I have fell short so many times. I'm speaking from experience and knowledge. I had the hard work down, but not the team. You got to understand this stuff. Get outside of yourself. It's not about you. You're never bigger than your company. Gary Vee, I just heard him talking today on something, and he says, look, the second that you understand that it's about you serving your customer, who is your employee first, it can never overflow. We're going to dive into that a little bit more next week. I know I harp on that a lot, but boy, if we just understood the power of investing in those around us and allowing that to overflow on others, whether it be in business or life, in the family, no matter where we're talking about, no matter what organization we're talking about, the reality is it's true. And the second we grasp that, the better we become. It just always flows because it's always going to be about relationships and it's always going to be about people. These are the things that are going to separate you from your competitor. These are the things that are going to separate you from whoever your competition is, whether you're trying to get a raise or a promotion, whether you're trying to grow your company or brand, or you're just trying to do better in your own household. Look, because we've all been there. I'm a father of 8. I get it. The reality is these things are applicable everywhere. That's the point I'm making. Guys, check out the podcast. Check out the free training. Make sure you are subscribed to our Facebook page and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, with that being said, as always, you guys know the deal. I love you, I really do. And as always, serve your community in everything, not just plumbing. Have a great night.
Fresh.
Thanks for watching The Fresh Experience. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Fresh Approach, on Google, Apple, and your favorite podcast channel.